This channel has been known to trigger leftists and trolls alike. Proceed with extreme caution. You have been warned.
Good evening. Investigators say it happened inside of a welding shop in Baton Rouge.
Authorities caught him after his DNA matched some already in the system from a sexual assault kit performed on the victim. William Garner is currently being detained on a parole hold in the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. Chris Nakamoto spoke to the shop owner, who's still recovering from 2 hours of terror. Chris, he says he'll never forget.
Breaking news, nigga. Some breaking news.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind. Nigga, please.
Oh, hell no.
Fight their asses.
Sylvia Michael Dwayne Watkins says this incident turned him into a gun-toting person. And tonight he says he'll not only be prepared if something else happens, but he'll continue being faithful to a higher power that he credits for saving him and 4 others inside his shop the night he says evil came knocking.
I was in the office just said he needed to keep me up something to eat.
Dwayne Watkins vividly recalls the words he prayed to God on a chilly New Year's Day in Baton Rouge.
Please let me live through this. Let me be able to see my wife and daughter again.
Watkins was checking on things at his welding shop when things took an unexpected turn.
Next thing you know, you had 2 other guys come in with guns, knives, subdued us, told us, tied us up, demanded money, and shot me 5 times.
Watkins says while he and 3 others were tied up, the suspects took a female who was also tied up and sexually assaulted her upstairs.
And no, she was a visitor, and she just came by to bring in the New Year's, and I'm sorry that even happened. She wasn't here a good 10, 15 minutes, before those guys came up.
After the suspects left, at least one victim managed to break free using a pocket knife and called police. Watkins recalls everyone thinking they were going to die.
Well, at that particular time, they were talking about, killing everybody. I gave them what I had. I said, don't worry about hurting anybody.
His life flashed before his eyes, and his life hasn't been the same since.
Well, I spent about a month in the hospital. I go to therapy 3 times a week. It's been a long road.
He now must use a cane to get around.
Kneecap, thigh, twice in this leg. Kneecap, thigh, shattered my femur bone, so right now I got a titanium rod with pins in it, and both my kneecaps been replaced.
With one suspect locked up, Watkins hopes authorities catch the other. As he hangs on to his faith, forgiveness isn't coming easy for those who robbed and shot him, raped an acquaintance of his, and took his sense of security away.
It got me to the point where I don't want to trust anybody anymore, I hate to say it, but it got a little vengeance in my heart.
Watkins says the thieves got away with about $1,000 in cash from his shop. William Garner is facing charges of attempted first-degree murder, rape, robbery, and false imprisonment charges. He's locked up on a parole hold for a different crime. The second suspect with him remains at large tonight, and authorities haven't released any details about him.
Year-old accused of stealing a car, and that is not all. A baby inside the stolen vehicle taken for a ride. The child recovered safe and sound and returned to her worried father. 7's Vanessa Medina live at the courthouse in Fort Lauderdale with this. Vanessa.
That's right. This teenager made many bad decisions that day. According to police, he stole this car. He didn't know that this child was in there. But the good news is, like you said, this baby was returned and his mother did the right thing. Terrence Thorpe, 16 years old, facing a judge.
So any objection to probable cause.
After police say he stole a car with a 1-year-old baby inside. His mother turning him in after seeing these surveillance pictures, and she recognized her son. Police say the teen was riding his bike Wednesday when he saw this car running in the middle of the street. It was parked on 26th Street in Fort Lauderdale. He dumped his bike, jumped into the car, but baby Soraya was in the back seat.
He had a bicycle. He was passing. See my car, see an opportunity, and he took it.
Her dad left her sleeping, running inside of a house for a few minutes. When he came out, his car and his baby were gone.
Horrible. You know your daughter is missing and gone, and you can't do nothing about it but sit there and not knowing what she's going through.
Thorpe dumping the car a few blocks away, getting out of the car and running. According to the police report, the teen told police he thought he was going to get robbed, so he jumped in the car to get away. Also saying he left the AC on with the baby in the back and he didn't know he could stay with Soraya while police arrived. However, according to the baby's dad,
pressing charges, and that's about it. See you in court.
So Thorpe was already on probation, so a judge wants to see him next week to talk about the conditions of the violations of that probation, but he will be here at the Juvenile Detention Center for the next 21 days. Reporting live in Fort Lauderdale, Vanessa Medina, 7 News.
And that breaking news just into our newsroom right now. Garner police say that the man seen running from officers wearing a gold tracksuit is now behind bars. Raleigh police arrested Wilmonte Miller Torres last night. Now, investigators say he led Garner police on a chase last week, prompting a massive manhunt along Old Stage Road and Grovemont Road. One officer was injured when his cruiser crashed into another police car during that chase. Now they are expected to be okay. Miller Torres is being held on a $1 million bond.
Kidnapped and forced to withdraw money. That's what happened to one Mid-South woman after leaving the gym. This wasn't the only crime the kidnapper is alleged to have committed. WMC Action News 5's Jessica Hawley joins us now live with more. Jessica.
Police say 2 of the crimes happened at ATMs in Whitehaven. At gunpoint, one woman was kidnapped and then forced to withdraw money from a bank, while another man had his debit card stolen during a transaction.
Court documents show the 19-year-old fessed up to the Whitehaven crime spree that started March 27th at this Planet Fitness off Elvis Presley Boulevard. According to investigators, Derek Johnson and another man grabbed a woman at gunpoint who was leaving the gym and forced her to drive a few blocks away to a Regions bank. At the bank, police say the 2 men forced that woman to withdraw $340. Police say the woman was able to escape a short time later. It's a crime still talked about days later at the gym that has people now more aware of their surroundings while coming and going.
You can't come out of the building with your phone in your hand, with your head down, not paying attention to your surroundings, because if you don't pay attention to your surroundings, like vehicles, vans, or trucks sitting next to you, then you're going to be a victim if you don't pay attention.
2 days later, police say Johnson and 2 others struck again, this time twice in one day. First at this Bank of America on East Shelby Drive. There, police say the trio snuck up from behind on a man at an ATM, put a gun to his back and punched him. The 3 took off with his debit card and PIN, according to investigators. That same day, they attempted to rob someone at the IHOP, according to court documents. This crime spree came to an end for Johnson when the woman from the gym was able to identify him in a photo lineup. Police arrested Johnson on Tuesday, who then confessed to his part in the crimes. Johnson is charged with 2 counts of aggravated robbery and 1 count of aggravated kidnapping.
Tonight, Planet Fitness told us that there are surveillance cameras pointing into the parking lot and that the gym is working closely with Memphis investigators. Reporting live tonight, Jessica Hawley, WMC Action News 5.
Lunchroom scene at the Denver jail ends with the Denver Sheriff's deputy you see here suspended. He is now off of the job for 30 days, I should say, after he tossed an inmate's food tray in his face.
Investigative reporter Rob Lowe got the video. He's here to show us the entire incident caught on camera. Rob?
Jeremy, 30 days sounds a little harsh for any food fight. It may be because Deputy Daryl Jordan was told he never took responsibility for his actions for not de-escalating the situation, which has, of course, been a big part of the sheriff's new use of force policy. De-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. So here's what happened back in November. Deputy Jordan told an inmate he grabbed the wrong cup of coffee in the breakfast line. A few minutes later, the inmate goes to grab the proper cup and is now told by Deputy Jordan, too late, breakfast line is closed. This leads to a war of words, some F-bombs between the 2 men, and Jordan orders the inmate to leave the cafeteria without eating. The inmate appears to get up with his tray to leave, and Deputy Jordan is then seen knocking the tray away. It turns out another deputy would later bring food to the inmate in the hallway. Deputy Jordan told investigators he wasn't trying to taunt or embarrass the inmate, but Internal Affairs didn't buy it. Jordan served a 10-day suspension previously in 2014 for inappropriate force. Jordan, a deputy since 1996, will begin his 30-day suspension later this month. Rob Lowe, Fox 31.
Good morning. It's 8:57 now. We're just learning in our newsroom of a fatal crash and police chase overnight. And what we know right now, this just coming in, this happened about 9:30 last night in Irmo. Police officers there were in pursuit of a vehicle that they believe had been recently stolen out of Columbia for speeding, doing more than 55 in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. Police in Irmo tell us the driver fled from police, ultimately running into a tree, and there were 6 people inside that vehicle. Ultimately, 3 of those people did die as a result of the crash. Now, the people who passed away have not yet been identified. No ages or names have been released, but local hospitals are still treating those other 3 patients, as we understand. Now, we do know, however, that the people who passed away are juveniles. Officers say they did recover a firearm from the car off one of the juveniles. A 2008 Pontiac G6 is the vehicle they were traveling in that, again, officers believe had been recently stolen out of the city of Columbia. We will continue to follow this story and bring you more as we learn it. Irmo Police, Lexington County deputies as well, and the Highway Patrol all investigating this morning. Again, happened about 9:30 last night. 6 people in a vehicle being pursued by police in Irmo. 3 of those people now confirmed dead. We'll, of course, bring you more info as we get it.
Jenna Cisneros here on Piney Grove Road and Lindsbury Circle. Just behind me, 3 juveniles died in a police chase last night around 9:30. It all started when Irmo Police Department attempted to pull over a vehicle that was speeding. They say the car was going over 55 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. The vehicle didn't stop and led officers on the chase. The car then lost control and hit a tree. 6 people were in the car. The youngest was a 13-year-old and the oldest was 18. 1 died on the scene. First responders then took the other 5 people to the hospital where 2 others died. None of them were wearing seatbelts according to Highway Patrol. The car left the road and hit a tree. As for the investigation, we know detectives found a firearm in the car and the car was also stolen. As for right now, investigators aren't sure who was driving the car. We are working to find out where these kids went to school, what their names are, and of course we'll send you updates on air and online through our WIS News app once we find out that information. In Irmo, Jenna Cisneros, WIS News 10.
Special thanks to GP Videos contributor, Leo Cardia Emmanuel.
And
As always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Also follow us on the usual media for more managers and information like this.
Channel moderators are Jer Shax and Michael Thomas. Thanks for your diligence and dedication.
Fight their asses.